Guys, Ali here. Why the fuck am I still using that meme, man? It's dead. Anyway, so, how you doing? I'm back here again, and at the minute I'm just walking somewhere, but give me 2 seconds, I'm gonna get to where I need to be, and then I'll be back.
Can't see it.
It's there, you twat.
Really? Can't see it. Where is it? Where's the copter? Oh, there it is. Oh, he's trying to go for a fancy landing, isn't it? Oh, it's just shit like that. What is it?
Fucking come back. That fella, that solid geezer.
What?
Just bonk it down. If you blow up, it don't matter.
That wind!
Whoa, man!
That blew me! Yeah, well done, landing in the heat! Well played!
How did it go? Just waiting for Lost Boy Sky now.
Okay, so we've got Paul McCaw, Distin.
Or that I can only tell half a joke. I mean, suppose you all wore blindfolds and just heard my voice. Would you be a disabled audience? Suppose you were all deaf and I had an interpreter here. Then who is disabled? Suppose you were both blind and deaf. What would be the point of me standing here at all? I can see that some of you are trying to figure out where you know me from. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those comedians who brags about being on the television a lot. But, just so you know, I have been on television a lot. And I don't mean in a picture frame on top of my mother. Mainly because it's the 21st century and the joke doesn't work with flat screens. I've appeared all over the world, in fact. My friend actually saw me on the news in India once. To be honest, I'm not sure I'm really reaching out to my target market. Maybe I should get a new agent. But if they want to book me for some gigs, I'll even try to find an Indian accent for my iPad. You probably don't recognize me from the television, though. I think my voice is more well known than my face. Maybe it would help if I started saying phrases such as, "The next train to arrive on platform 4 is the 12:52 service to London King's Cross." And, from my time at the post office, children's storytelling program. You may be wondering why I chose to sound like a posh version of RoboCop. Let me demonstrate.
The alternatives were not much better. I didn't really want to sound like this.
And I really didn't want to sound like this.
And I'm not the type of guy who can sound like a gangster rapper.
I got the train to the gig today. I always like to sit in those seats for disabled people. It's just easier to get off. Anyway, I was in that seat and was about halfway here when another disabled person got on and asked me to move. I'll be honest, I didn't realize I'd be playing disabled. Top trumps when I got on, or I would have dressed more special. Needless to say, I didn't move. Who cares if he was both blind and deaf? I was there first. It was very awkward. He couldn't see that I was still there. And I couldn't tell him I wasn't moving because I can't speak. He wouldn't have heard me anyway. I even had a job as a talking clock once, but it took me at least 10 seconds to type in the time, so I was always wrong. There's only a limited amount of work I can get as a voiceover artist, to be fair. Unless Stephen Hawking wants to release an audio version of one of his books, then there's pretty much no work for me at all. I am going to try to get more television work, though. I hilariously fall over all the time, so I'm surprised the BBC haven't offered me a sitcom yet.
I can't. What are these, Red Devils?
In it, yeah. Yeah, so we'll go.
They don't free fall, you twit, they make patterns.
What?
They don't free fall, you twit, they make patterns.
Yeah, but not all of them make patterns. But
These.
free fall for a bit and then how to. No, it just looks like a red cloud.
Can you imagine one of the parachutes fails to open?
Imagine someone got a movie that was such that.
You're ruining my plan, shut up.
What?
Nothing. He comes right over his head, doesn't he? He's got a fucking What the hell are we doing with our lives?
Nothing. Okay, he's gonna drown now. It's very deep waters.
Oh, he's coming. Where's he going?
Sondico flag. Think they're wet? They're playing swords. Lost voice guy, Red Devils. What more do you need? Fucking hell.
Fuck no, some shit's gonna go through.
Fucking hell.